Hello and welcome to this webinar entitled Contract Interpretation Disputes, Key Principles Explored with me, Keith Markham. So a lot of interesting cases to discuss, and let's begin by looking as usual at the agenda for this session. So we're going to look at the principles of interpretation. So many of you will be aware that there are certain very important Supreme Court cases that have established certain fairly helpful principles over the years. We will start by looking at a brief outline, not so much of the cases themselves, but of the principles that come from those cases, make sure we understand those. And once we've done that, the aim of today is really just to kind of see how the courts are then taking those principles from the well-established cases and applying them. So we're going to look at half a dozen recent cases. The detail obviously will follow later on, but they're a mixture of cases to do with things like exclusion clauses, entitlement to success fees, tenancy agreements, assignment clauses, and also an interesting clause about payment where there's a reference to so many days. Again, how did the court decide to interpret the word days? Quite a useful little case. So that's the agenda. Again, the aim is to take those basic principles and apply them to the facts of recent cases. But obviously that requires us to start by talking about those basic principles. And again, for some of you, this may be old hat, but you just bear with me for one slide. For those who are less familiar, let's be clear. The principles of interpretation